Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishikam Vitam Sya Om Agyana Timarandasya Yanajana Shalakya Chakshurunnitam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurgam Gurgadadar Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanagam Govinda Abhidam Ujwalam Bharatanam Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Navi Bija Pranam Devam Divyatanam Suchanda Balanam Balar Kachilan Shitam Sandrananda Puram Sarega Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Shri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Mandetam Vishwaram Marega Sharanam Yashishvara Shidaram Mansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Urachavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and this is Madhya-lila chapter 22, the process of devotional service. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussing abhidheya with Srila Sanatan Goswami. Text number 69. Jahara Komala Shraddha Se Kanishta Jan Krame Krame Teho Bhakta Hoibe Utam. One whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte, but by gradually following the process he will rise to the platform of a first-class devotee. The one who starts out as a kanishta, a beginning or neophyte devotee, can rise by following principles of devotional service to the uttama, or the highest stage, first-class devotee. Jo bhavet komala shraddha sakanishto nigadyate. One whose faith is not very strong, but is just beginning, should be called a neophyte devotee. Rati prema taratamye bhakta taratam ekadasha skandetara koriyat sheilakan. A devotee is considered superlative or superior according to his attachment and love. In the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the following symptoms have been given. Sarva bhuteshu ya pashyad bhagavad bhavam atmana. Excuse me. No. Sarva bhuteshu ya pashyad bhagavad bhavamatmana bhutane bhagavati atmani ishad bhagavatottama. A person advanced in devotional service. Person advanced in devotional service sees within everything a soul of souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he always sees the form of the Lord as the cause of all causes and understands that all things are situated in him. Ishwaretad adineshu bhaliseshu dvisatsucha prima maitri kripopeksha yakaroti samadhyama. Ishwaretad adineshu bhaliseshu dvisatsucha Visatsu cha ishwaretara adineshu baliseshu dvishatsu cha prema maitri kripopeksha yakaroti samadhyama. An intermediate, second-class devotee shows love, for the Lord is friendly to all devotees and is very merciful to neophytes and ignorant people. The intermediate devotee neglects those who are envious of devotional service. Archayam eva haraye pujamya shraye hate natad bhakteshu chaneshu sabhakta prakrita smrita. A prakrita bhakta, or materialistic devotee, does not purposefully study the Shastra and try to understand the actual standard of pure devotional service. Consequently, does not show proper respect to advanced devotees. He may, however, follow the regular principles learned from his spiritual master or from his family who worships the deity. He is to be considered on the material platform, although he is trying to advance in devotional service. Such a person is a Bhakta Prai, neophyte devotee, or Bhakta Boss, for he is a little enlightened by Vaishnava philosophy. This verse is also from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that one who has full love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead and maintains a good friendship with the Lord's devotees is always callous to those who envy Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Such a person is to be considered an intermediate devotee. He becomes a first-class devotee when in the course of advancing in devotional service, he feels an intimate relationship with all living entities, seeing them as part and parcel of the Supreme Person. Sarva Maha Guna Gana Vaishnava Sharire Krishna Bhakti Krishnera Guna Sakali Sanchare. A Vaishnava is one who has developed all good transcendental qualities. All the good qualities of Krishna gradually develop in Krishna's devotee. Yashyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Yakinchana Sarvar Gunais Tatra Samasate Sura Arabhaktasya Kuto Mahadguna Manoratena Sati Davato Bahi. In one who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods are consistently manifest. However, he who has no devotion to the Lord has no good qualifications because he is engaged by mental concoction in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. Se sab guna hoy Vaishnava lakan, sab kahana jai kori digdarshan. All these transcendental qualities are the characteristics of pure Vaishnavas, and they cannot be fully explained, but I shall try to point out some of the important qualities. Kripalu Akritadroha Satyasaramasam Nidosha Madanyam Ridu Shuchi Akinchan Sarvo Pakaraka Shanta Krishnaika Sharan Akamaniya Stira Vijita Shadguna Mitabuk Apramata Madana Amani Mitrabuk Apramata Manada Apat Amani Gambira Karuna Maitra Kavidaka Moni. Devotees are always merciful, humble, truthful, equal to all, faultless, magnanimous, mild, and clean. They are without material possessions, and they perform welfare work for everyone. They are peaceful, surrendered to Krishna, and desireless. They are indifferent to material acquisitions and are fixed in devotional service. They completely control the 6 bad qualities, lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much as required, and they are not inebriated. They are respectful, grave, compassionate, and without false prestige. They are friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. Titikshava karunika surida sarvadehinam ajata shatravan shanta sadava sadubhushana. Devotees are always tolerant, forbearing, and very merciful. They are the well-wishers of every living entity. They follow the scriptural injunctions, and because they have no enemies, they are very peaceful. These are the decorations of devotees. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam when the sages headed by Shonaka inquired from Kapila Dev, the incarnation of Godhead. Sutta Goswami, who was the topmost devotee of the Lord, quoted talks about self-realization between Vidura and Maitreya, a friend of Vyasadev's. During these talks, the topic of Lord Kapila had come up, and at the time Maitreya had repeated Kapila Dev's discussions with his mother, wherein the Lord states that attachment to material things is the cause of conditioned life. When a person becomes attached to transcendental things, he is on the path of liberation. Mahatsevam dvaram ahur vimuktais. Mahatsevam dvaram ahur vimuktais. Tamodvaram yoshitam sangisangam. Mahantas te samachita prashanta Vimaya Vimanyava Surida Sadavoye Mahatsevam Dvaram Ahur Vimuktes Tamodvaram Yoshitam Sangisangam Mahantaste Samachita Prashanta Vimanyava Surida Sadavoye. It is the verdict of all Shastras and great personalities that service to a pure devotee is the path of liberation. By contrast, association with materialistic people who are attached to material enjoyment and women is the path of darkness. Those who are actually devotees are broad-minded, equal to everyone, and very peaceful. They never become angry, and they are friendly to all living entities. Krishna Bhakti Janmamula Hoy Sadhu Sangha Krishna Prema Janmeteho Punam Mukya Anga. The root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with devotees is still most essential. Bhava Pavargo Brahmatu Yada Bhavids Janashatarhi Achutat Sat Samadama Satsangamo Yarhi Tadaiva Sadgatu Paravareshe Tvai Jayate Rati Bhava Pavargo Brahmatu Yada Bhavids Janashatarhi Achutat Satsamagama Satsangamo Yarhita Daiva Sadgato Paravareshe Tvai Jayate Rati. O my Lord, O infallible Supreme Person, when a person wandering throughout the universe becomes eligible for liberation from material existence, he gets an opportunity to associate with devotees. When he associates with devotees, his attraction for you is awakened. You are the Supreme Personality of God at the highest goal of the topmost devotees and Lord of the universe. Ata Atyantika Shemam Prichamo Bhavato Nada Samsaresmin Shanardopi Satsanga Sevadir Nrinam. O devotees, O you who are free from all sins, let me inquire from you about that which is supremely auspicious for all living entities. Association with a pure devotee for even half a moment in this material world is the greatest treasure for human society. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti rit karna rasayana kata tajoshanad ashvapavarga vartmani shraddha ratir bhaktir anukramishyati. The spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees, and it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens, and gradually one attains firm faith that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. Asatsanga tyaga e vaishnavachar stri sangi eka asadu. Krishna Bhakta are, Vaishnavas should always avoid the association of ordinary people. Common people are very much materially attached, especially to women. Vaishnavas should also avoid the company of those who are not devotees of Lord Krishna. Satyam shocham dayamonam buddheri shrir yoshashama shamodamo Bhagascheti yat sangad yati samshayam teshvasan teshu mureshu kanditat mas vasadushu sangam na kuryat chosheshu yoship krida mrigeshu cha na tatasya bhaven moho bandas chanya prasangata yoship sangad yatha pumso yatha tat sangi sangata. By association with worldly people, one becomes devoid of truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, gravity, spiritual intelligence, shyness, austerity, fame, forgiveness, control of the mind, control of the senses, fortune, and all opportunities. One should not at any time associate with a coarse fool who is bereft of the knowledge of self-realization and who is no more than a toy animal in the hands of a woman. The illusion and bondage that accrue to a man from attachment to any other object are not as complete as that resulting from association with a woman or with men too much attached to women. So this is saying that the basis of material attachment is just sexual attraction. So one should not associate with those persons who are just completely subjugated by that attachment for women and who are in that kind of material association. Varamhuta vaha jwala panjarantar vyavastiti nashori chintavimukha jana samvasa vaishyasam. It is better to accept the miseries of being encaged within bars and surrounded by burning flames than to associate with those bereft of Krishna consciousness. Such association is a very great hardship. Ma drakshi shina punyam kvachedapi bhagavad bhakti hinan manushan sadrakshi shina punyan kvachedapi bhagavad bhakti hinan manushan. One should not even see those who are bereft of devotional service and Krishna consciousness, and who are therefore devoid of pious activities. Eta sabha chariyara varnashrama dharma akinchana ayaloi Krishnaika sharan. Without hesitation, one should take exclusive shelter of Lord Krishna with full confidence, giving up bad association and even neglecting the regulative principles of the 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. That is to say, one should abandon all material attachment. Sarvadharmam paritijam mamikam sharanam braja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayashyami ma shucha after giving up all kinds of religious and occupational duties, if you come to me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and take shelter, I shall give you protection from all of life's sinful reactions. Do not worry. Bhakta-vatsala Kritagya Samartha Vadanya Hena Krishna Chari Pandita Nahi Vajayanya. Lord Krishna is very kind to his devotees. He is always very grateful and magnanimous, and he possesses all abilities. A learned man does not give up Krishna to worship anyone else. Ka panditas tvad aparam sharanam samiyad bhakta priyad rita hirasudrita kritangyat sarvan dadatis surido bhajato bikamam atmanamapi upachaya pachaya yo nadyasya ka panditas tvad aparam sharanam samiyad bhakta priyad rita gira surida kritagyat sarvan dadatis surido bhajato bikaman atmanamapi upachaya pachayo nayasya. My Lord, you are very affectionate to your devotees. You are also a truthful and grateful friend. Where is that learned man who would give you up and surrender to someone else? You fulfill all the desires of your devotees, so much so that sometimes you even give yourself to them. Still, you neither increase nor decrease by such activities. Vidya janera hoy jari Krishna guna gyan anyajaji vajay tate udava praman. Whenever an experienced person develops real knowledge of Krishna and his transcendental qualities, he naturally gives up all other engagements and renders service to the Lord. Uddhava gives evidence concerning this. Aho bhakiyam stana kala kutam. Aho bhakiyam stana kala kutam. Jigam saya payayad api asadvi lebe gatim datri uchitam tatonyam kam yodayalam sharanam rajema. Oh, how wonderful it is. Putana, the sister of Bakasura, wanted to kill Krishna by smearing deadly poison on her breast and having Krishna take it. Nonetheless, Lord Krishna accepted her as his mother, and thus she attained the destination befitting Krishna's mother. Of whom should I take shelter but Krishna, who is most merciful? So among the different categories of mother that are mentioned, such as cow, one's own mother, the earth, there are different mothers. Mention one of them is wet nurse. Wet nurse means one who is nursing a child. And in this case, Putana came to kill Krishna. She smeared poison on her breast, and then she offered her breast to Krishna. Of course, she was a demoness, and she was trying to kill Krishna. But Krishna sucked on her breast, but also sucked out her life. But in doing so, he elevated her to the Vatsalya category, which means she was accepted in the category of mother by Krishna, even though she came with very bad intentions of trying to kill Krishna. So, oh, how wonderful it is. Putana, the sister of Bakasura, wanted to kill Krishna by smearing deadly poison on her breast and having Krishna take it. Nonetheless, Lord Krishna accepted her as a mother, and thus she attained the destination befitting Krishna's mother, or we'll say Vatsalya category, parent. Of whom should I take shelter but Krishna, who is most merciful? In other words, he gave Putana liberation, even though she came to kill Krishna. So who could be so merciful is Krishna. Sharanangatera akinchanera eka ilakan taramadi pravishaye atmasamarpan. There are two kinds of devotees, those who are fully satiated and free from all material desires, and those who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Their qualities are one and the same, but those who are fully surrendered to Krishna's lotus feet are qualified with another transcendental quality, Atma Samarpana, full surrender without reservation. There are two kinds of devotees, those who are fully satiated and free from all material desires, and those who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. Their qualities are one and the same, but those who are fully surrendered to Krishna's lotus feet are qualified with another transcendental quality, Atma Samarpana, full surrender without reservation. Anukul Yasya Sankalpa Pratikul Yasya Marjanam Rakshishyatiti Vishvaso Gokrit Vevaranam Tata Atmanikshepa Karpanye Shadvida Sharanagati. The six divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full surrender and humility. One who is fully surrendered is qualified with the six following characteristics. 1, the devotee has to accept everything that is favorable for the rendering of transcendental loving service to the Lord. 2, he must reject everything unfavorable to the Lord's service. This is also called renunciation. 3, the devotee must be firmly convinced that Krishna will give him protection. No one else can actually give one protection. And being firmly convinced of this is called faith. This kind of faith is different from the faith of an impersonalist who wants to merge into the Brahmana effulgence in order to benefit by cessation of repeated birth and death. The devotee wants to remain always in the Lord's service. In this way, Krishna is merciful to his devotee and gives him all protection from the dangers found on the path of devotional service. For the devotee should accept Krishna as his supreme maintainer and master. He should not think that he is being protected by a demigod. He should depend only on Krishna, considering him the only protector. The devotee must be firmly convinced that within the three worlds he has no protector or maintainer other than Krishna. 5, self-surrender means remembering that one's activities and desires are not independent. The devotee is completely dependent on Krishna, and he acts and thinks as Krishna desires. 6, the devotee is meek and humble. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham rishanivishto matas smritir jnanam apavanam cha vedaischa sarvairaham eva vedyo vedantikrit vedavida eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Situated in everyone's heart, Krishna deals differently according to the living entity's position. The living entity's position is to be under the protection of the illusory energy or under Krishna's personal protection. When a living entity is fully surrendered, he is under the direct protection of Krishna, and Krishna gives him all intelligence by which he can advance in spiritual realization. The non-devotee, however, being under the protection of the illusory energy, increasingly forgets his relationship with Krishna. Sometimes he is asked how Krishna causes one to forget. Sometimes it is asked how Krishna causes one to forget. Krishna personally gives his devotee, Krishna personally causes his devotee to forget material activities, and through the agency of Maya, Krishna causes the non-devotee to forget his devotional service to the Lord. This is called apavana. Tavasmiti Vadan Vacha Tataiva Manasavinan Tavasmiti Vadan Vacha Tataiva Manasavidan Tatstanam Ashritastanva Mudate Sharanagata. One whose body is fully surrendered takes shelter at the holy place where Krishna had his pastimes. And he prays to the Lord, "My Lord, I am yours." Understanding this, with his mind he enjoys spiritual bliss. Sharanam Lanya Kore Krishna Atmasamarpan Krishna Tari Koretat Kali Atmasam Sharanalanya Kore Krishna Atmasamarpan Krishna Tari Koretat Kali Atmasam. When a devotee thus fully surrenders unto Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna accepts him as one of his confidential associates. Martyo Yada Chakya Samasta Karma Niveditatma Vichikir Shitome Taramritatvam Pratipadyamano Mayatma Bhuyaya Chakopatevai. The living entity who is subjected to birth and death attains immortality when he gives up all material activities, dedicates his life to the execution of my order, and acts according to my directions. In this way he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. The living entity who is subjected to birth and death attains immortality when he gives up all material activities, dedicates his life to the execution of my order, and acts according to my directions. In this way, he becomes fit to enjoy the spiritual bliss derived from exchanging loving mellows with me. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna was advising his most confidential servant, Uddhava, about Sambandha, Abhidheya, and Prayojana. These concern one's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the activities of that relationship, as well as the perfection of life. The Lord also described the characteristics of confidential devotees. Eve sadhana bhakti lakshana shunas. Eve sadhana bhakti lakshana shuna sanatan jaha hoite pai Krishna prema mahadan. My dear Sanatan, please now hear about the regulative principles for the execution of devotional service. By this process, one can attain the highest perfection of love of Godhead, which is the most desirable treasure. Kriti sadhya bhavid sadhya bhavasa saranabhida nitya sirasya bhavasya prakatyam vriti sadhyata. When transcendental devotional service by which love for Krishna is attained is executed by the senses, it is called sadhana bhakti, or the regulated discharge of devotional service. Such devotion eternally exists within the heart of every living entity. The awakening of this eternal devotion is the potentiality of devotional service and practice. When transcendental devotional service by which love for Krishna is attained is executed by the senses, it is called sadhana bhakti, or the regulative discharge of devotional service. Such devotion eternally exists within the heart of every living entity. The awakening of this eternal devotion is the potentiality of devotional service. This verse is found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Because living entities are minute atomic parts and parcels of the Lord, devotional service is already present within them in a dormant condition. Devotional service begins with Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. When a man is sleepy, he can be awakened by sound vibration. Therefore, every conditioned soul should be given a chance to hear the Hare Krishna mantra chanted by a pure devotee. One who hears this Hare Krishna mantra, thus vibrated, is awakened to spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. In this way, one's mind gradually becomes purified, as stated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaito Darpana Marchana. When the mind is purified, the senses are also purified. Instead of using the senses for sense gratification, the awakened devotee employs the senses in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. This is the process by which dormant love for Krishna is awakened. Shavanari Kriyatara Swarupa Lakan Tatasta Lakane Upajaya Premadan. The spiritual activity of hearing, chanting, remembering, and so forth. The spiritual activities of hearing, chanting, remembering, and so forth are the natural characteristics of devotional service. The marginal characteristic is that it awakens pure love for Krishna. Nityasena Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunoi Shavanadi Shuddha Chitte Koraye Uday. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of the living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love naturally awakens. Eta Samana Bhakti Duita Prakar Ek Vaidhi Bhakti Raganuga Bhakti are. There are two processes of practical devotional service, or sadhana bhakti. One is regular devotional service, and the other is spontaneous devotional service. One is Vaidhi Bhakti, and the other Raganuga Bhakti. Ragahina Jana Bhaje Shastrara Agyai Vaidhi Bhakti Bolitare Sarva Shastragai. Those who have not attained the platform of spontaneous attachment and devotional service render devotional service under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master according to the regulative principles mentioned in the revealed scriptures. According to the revealed scriptures, this kind of devotional service is called Vaidhi Bhakti. Tasman Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Shotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyas Chechatavayam Tasman Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Shotavya Kirtitavyascha Smartavyas Chechatavayam. O descendant of Bharata, O Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, was the Supreme Controller, and who always removes the miseries of the living entities, must always be heard about from reliable sources, and he must be glorified and remembered by one who wishes to become fearless. Mukha Bahuru Haribhya Purushasya Shramai Saha Chatvaro Jagire Varna Gunar Vipradaya Prita. From the mouth of Brahma, the Brahminical order has come into existence. Similarly, from his arms, the Kshatriyas have come. From his waist, the Vaishyas have come, and from his legs, the Sudras have come. These four orders and their spiritual counterparts, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas, combine to make human society complete. From the mouth of Brahma, the Brahminical order has come into existence. Similarly, from his arm, the Kshatriyas have come. From his waist, the Vaishyas have come, and from his legs, the Sudras have come. These four orders and their spiritual counterparts, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas, combine to make human society complete. Ya esham purusham sakshad atma prabhavam ishvaram na bhajanti avajananti stanad brashta patanti yada. One simply maintains an official position in the 4 varnas and ashramas, but does not worship the Supreme Lord Vishnu, one falls down from his puffed up position into a hellish condition. Smartabhya saratam vishnur vishmartabhyo jatuchit sarve vidi nisheda shur itayor eva kinkara. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras should be the servants of these 2 principles. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras should be the servants of these 2 principles. So then all the rules, regulations mentioned in the Shastras should combine or work for promoting these 2 principles. All the positive injunctions should help one to remember Krishna. And the negative injunctions, which one should avoid should be so that one will never forget Krishna. These are the 2 principles. So it's very fundamental. I'll read this again. Smartabhya saratam vishnur vishmartabhyo najatu chit sarve vidi nisheda shur etayor eva kinkara. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. All the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastras should be the servants of these 2 principles. Vividanga sarana bhaktir bahuta vishtar sankshepe kohiye kichu sarananga sar. I shall say something about the various practices of devotional service, which is expanded in so many ways. I wish to speak briefly of the essential practices. Guru Parashraya Diksha Guru Sevana Saddharma Siksha Pricha Sadhu Manganugaman. Guru Parashraya Diksha Guru Sevana Saddharma Siksha Pricha Sadhu Margananugaman. On the path of regular devotional service, one must observe the following items. 1, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master. 2, one must accept initiation from him. 3, one must serve him. 4, one must receive instructions from the spiritual master and make inquiries in order to learn devotional service. 5, one must follow in the footsteps of the previous acharyas and follow the directions given by the spiritual master. Krishna Priti Bhogatyaga Krishna Tirtevas Javan Nirvaha Pratigraha Eka Dashi Upavas. The next steps are as follows. 6, one should be prepared to give up everything for Krishna's satisfaction, and one should also accept everything for Krishna's satisfaction. 7, one must live in a place where Krishna is present, a city like Vrindavan or Mathura or a Krishna temple. 8, one should acquire a livelihood that is just sufficient to keep body and soul together. 9, one must fast on the Ekadashi day. Datri Ashwata Govipra Vaishnava Pujan Seva Nama Paradadi Dure Visarjan. 10, one should worship Datri tree, banyan trees, cows, brahmanas, and devotees of Lord Vishnu. 11. One should avoid offenses against devotional service and the holy name. A Vaishnava Sangha Tyaga Bahu Sishyana Koriva Bahu Granta Kala Vyasa Vyakyana Varjiva. The 12th item is to give up the company of non-devotees. 13, one should not accept an unlimited number of disciples. 14, one should not partially study many scriptures just to be able to give references and expand explanations. Anilabe sama shakadera vashana hoiva anyadeva anyashastra nindana koriva. The devotee should treat loss and 15. The devotee should treat loss and gain equally. 16. The devotee should not be overwhelmed by lamentation. 17. The devotee should not worship demigods, nor should he disrespect them. Similarly, the devotee should not study or criticize other scriptures. Vishnu Vaishnava Ninda Gramya Varta Nashuniva Prani Matre Mano Vakye Udvegana Diva. 18. The devotee should not hear Lord Vishnu or his devotees blaspheme. 19. The devotee should avoid reading or hearing newspapers or mundane books that contain stories of love affairs between men and women or subjects palatable to the senses. 20. Neither by mind or word should the devotee cause anxiety to any living entity, regardless how insignificant he may be. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Pujana Vandana Paricharya Dasya Sakya Atma Nivedana. After one is established in devotional service, the positive actions are 1. Hearing, 2. Chanting, 3. Remembering, 4. Worshiping, 5. Praying, 6. Serving, 7. Accepting servitorship, and 8. Becoming a friend, and 9. Surrendering fully. Agre Nritya Gita Vigyapti Dandavanati Abhyutana Anu Vraja Tirtha Grihe Gati. One should also 10. Dance before the deity. 11. Sing before the deity. 12. Open one's mind to the deity. 13. Offer obeisances to the deity. 14. Stand up before the deity and the spiritual master just to show them respect. 15. Follow the deity or the spiritual master. And 16. Visit different places of pilgrimage or go see the deity in the temple. Parikrama Stavapata Japa Sankirtan Dupa Malya Ganda Mahaprasada Bhojan. One should 17 circumambulate the temple. 18 recite various prayers. 19 chant softly or japa. 20 chant congregationally. 21 smell the incense and flower garlands offered to the deity. And 22 eat the remnants of food offered to the deity. Aratrika Mahotsava Srimurti Darshan Nijapriya Dana Dhyana Tariya Sevan. One should 23 attend arti and festivals. 24 see the deity. 25 present what is very dear to oneself and the deity. 26 meditate on the deity. And 27 through 30 serve those related to the Lord. So 27 to 30. which is serve those related to the Lord. Tadiya Tulasi Vaishnava Mathura Bhagavat Charyara Seva Hoy Krishnara Abhimata. Tadiya means the Tulsi leaves, the devotees of Krishna, the birthplace of Krishna, Mathura, in the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is very eager to see his devotees serve Tulsi, Vaishnavas, Mathura, and Bhagavatam. Krishnarte Akila Cheshta Tat Kripa Valokana Janma Dinadi Mahotsava Loya Bhakta Gana. 31. One should perform all endeavors for Krishna. 32. One should look forward to his mercy. 33. One shall partake of various ceremonies with devotees, ceremonies like Lord Krishna's birthday or Ramachandra's birthday. Sarvata Shanana Pati Kartikari Brat Chatu Shashtiyanga E Parama Mahata. Sarvata Shanana Pati Kartikari Brata Chatu Shashti Anga E Parama Mahatva. 34. One should surrender to Krishna in all respects. 35. One should observe particular vows like Kartika Brata, These are some of the 64 important items of devotional service. These are some of the 64 important items of devotional service. Sadhu Sanganama, Kirtana, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathura Vashas, Shri Murtira Shradhaya Sevan. One should associate with devotees, chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, reside at Mathura, and worship the deity with faith and veneration. Sakala Sadhana Shrestha E Pancha Anga Krishna Prema Janmaya E Panchara Alpasanga. These are 5 limbs of devotion. These 5 limbs of devotional service are the best of all. Even a slight performance of these 5 awakens love for Krishna. These 5 limbs of devotional service are the best of all. Even a slight performance of these 5 awakens love for Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur points out that there are 35 items up to the point of observing special vows in the month of Kartik. In these 35 items, another 4 are added, namely marking tilak on different parts of the body, writing the names of the Lord all over the body, accepting the deity's garland, and accepting Charanamrita. These 4 items are understood to be included by Kaviraj Goswami within Archana, worship of the deity. Although these items are not mentioned here, they are added. These 4 items are understood to be included by, excuse me. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur points out that there are 35 items up to the point of observing special vows in the month of Kartik. To these 35 items, another 4 are added, namely marking tilak on different parts of the body, writing the names of the Lord all over the body, accepting the deity's garland, and accepting Charanamrita. These 4 items are understood to be included by Kaviraj Goswami within Archana, worship of the deity. Although these items are not mentioned here, they are to be added to the previous 35 items. Thus, the total number becomes 39. To these 39 should be added 5 others: association with devotees, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly, residing in Mathura, the birthplace of Krishna, and worshipping the deity with great respect and veneration. The 39 items plus these 5 come to a total of 44. If we add the previous 20 items to these 44, the total number becomes 64. The 5 items mentioned above repeat previously mentioned items. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami states, Anganam Panchakasyasya Purva Vilikitasya Cha Nikila Shvaishya Budhaya Punarapi Atra Samsaman. The glorification of these 5 items, association with devotees, chanting the holy name, and so on, is to make known the complete superiority of these 5 practices of devotional service. These 64 items of devotional service include all the activities of the body, mind, and senses. Thus, the 64 items engage one in devotional service in all respects. Shraddha Visheshata Priti Shri Murtir Angri Sevane. With love and faith, one should worship the lotus feet of the deity. Srimad Bhagavatartanam Asvado Rasikai Saha Sajati Yashaye Snigde Sadho Sangha Satovare. Srimad Bhagavatartanam Asvado Rasikai Saha Sajati Yashaye Snigde Sadho Sangha Satovare. One should taste the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of pure devotees, and one should associate with the devotees who are more advanced than oneself and who are endowed with a similar type of affection for the Lord. Nama Sankirtanam Shriman Mathura Mandale Stiti. One should congregationally chant the holy name of the Lord and reside in Vrindavan. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Shri Goda Mandala Bhumi Jeva Jane Chintamani Tarahoy Vrajabhumi Vas. One who understands the transcendental nature of Navadip and its surrounding area where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enacted his pastimes resides always in Vrindavan. Similarly, living in Jagannath Puri is as good as living in Vrindavan. The conclusion is that Navadip Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, and Vrindavan Dham are identical. However, if one goes to Mathura Mandala Bhumi for sense gratification or to make a livelihood, he commits an offense and is condemned. Whoever does so must be penalized in the next life by becoming a hog or a monkey in Vrindavan Dham. After taking on such a body, the offender is liberated in the next life. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that residing in Vrindavan with a view to enjoy sense gratification surely leads the so-called devotee to a lower species. Duru Hadbhuta Viryesmin Shraddha Durestu Panchake Yatra Svalpopi Sambandha Saddhyam Bhavajanmane. The power of these 5 principles is very wonderful and difficult to understand. Even without faith in them, a person who is offenseless can awaken his dormant love of Krishna simply by being a little connected with them. Ekanga sare keho sare bahu anga nishta hoile upajaya primara taranga. When one is firmly fixed in devotional service, whether he executes one or many processes of devotional service, the waves of love of Godhead will awaken. Ekas Ange Siddhi Paila Bahu Bhaktagan Ambarishadi Bhaktir Bahu Anga Sadan. There are many devotees who execute only one of the 9 processes of devotional service. Nonetheless, they get ultimate success. Devotees like Maharaj Ambarish execute all 9 items, and they also get ultimate success. But tomorrow I'll continue from this place. Now, conclude by singing Hari Haram. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan.
Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan.
H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan.
Javaite Vignana Shabishta Puran.
Jajoite Vigana Avista Puran.
H.I. Gosai Jarmui Taradas.
H.I. Gosai Yaramuri Taradas.
Tasavar Pada Renu Mora Panchagras.
Tasavara Pada Renu Mora Panchagras.
Tadir Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas.
Tadira Charana Sevi Bhakti Sanivas.
Janame Janame More Abhilas.
Janame Janame Mora Eya Vilas.
H.I. Gosai Jabe Braje Koilavas.
H.I. Gosai Jabe Praje Koilavas.
Radha Krishna Nitya-lila Korila Prakash.
Radha Krishna Nitya-lila Korila Prakash.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman.
Sri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Yaman.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriyas.
Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamula.
Harinama Sankirtana Koe Narotamoda.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyas.
Sri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koriyas.
Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamula.
Harinama Sankirtana Koe Narotamoda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nitai Gora Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Gurunga Gandharvika Giridhari Jyoki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyas Tatara Sada Shishi Mad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyas Tatara Sada Shishi Mad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sananta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Gaur Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Sanatan Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavad Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishvavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nagari Dham Ki Jai. Shri Dal Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvik Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Sham Guna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.